by Peter Redgrove. Very powerful book that somehow tends to be one of the most obscure books on the planet and stuff, as far as getting stuff. But anyway, unclean was not talking about in the human sense or the social sense. The unclean that it was talking about here is you have inside of creation, you have the energies and the essence that's conducive to creation inside of a bubble. Anything that's outside of creation from the primordial realm is known as unclean. So the unclean spirits are the alien spirits, the Andromeda strain of unclean spirits and stuff. So in so many words, germs give you a concept of that. What could just be a particle or some type of existence outside of the body can be detrimental inside of the body. You know what I'm saying? We got some bleach, you see what I'm saying, in your cabinet, and it holds up pretty well as long as it's bleach. But if you put it in your body, you understand what I'm saying?
Fuck you up.
It can be detrimental. The unclean spirits is talking about something that's alien essence outside of creation.
What you agreed upon.
But it also means that that which is outside of creation could be the only thing that could actually create something of potential to get to the next realm when it enters creation, because it is alien. You see, so now Cain killed Abel. They created this created part of creation, and death only represented an entry of the primordial realm seeping back in for a glimpse. You see what I'm saying? And destroying a little piece of that particular creation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
that's the unclean spirit so-called coming through.
Means alien.
Right, coming through with the Cain kill Abel thing.
Right.
And maybe you want to speak to this a little bit, because it comes up in that exact word when the woman's menstruating, that she's vulnerable to unclean spirits.
Right. The unclean spirits is when she's menstruating, she's dealing with what is called lunar fluids. The unclean spirits that they're talking about in this particular case, when we really break it down alchemically, is melanin. Because melanin is the only thing that existed not only in creation and made creation possible to exist, but it is the only thing that is beyond creation, because melanin is a primordial substance. So it is the one that it existed outside of creation. See what I'm saying? So it would be the substance in the body that would be the unclean spirit. Right. That they would call the demon or Satan. Satan means the turnaback of the accursor. And basically it means it was something that was primordial. You see what I'm saying? And has an element of the primal world. You see what I'm saying? That could be the adversary in the created world that is vulnerable. You see? It's polarities.
Very good. So, in that same book, well, not even in the book, out of that...
Did we miss anything?
Yeah, there's a couple more. I'll bring it right back up. Ra, the son Ra, being our friend. Is he our friend?
Right. Okay.
In fact, I just want to say this. Like Rude Ra was saying the other day, he might have said in a lecture, or he might have said it to me, that Ra actually, or the sun, actually shrinks your pineal.
Yes. The sun... Okay, you have melanin in the skin, the melanocytes, is a protector of the melanin inside of the body. The sun shrinks the pineal gland and makes it smaller. Get the book Genesis of the Grail Kings by what's the guy name? Lawrence
Gardner.
Sir Lawrence Gardner. Get Genesis of the Grail Kings, or get Realm of the Ring Lords. But it's in Genesis of the Grail King where they document it. The pineal gland is shrank based on that. Because it's a nighttime hormone. The melanocytes that make a person dark is to protect that person So the melanin on the outside of the body has another function compared to the inner melanin. Inner melanin is the true melanin. You see what I'm saying? That illuminates us. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, if it didn't, why is it that the people that's the conscious on the planet are the Africans Americans?
Right.
And no matter how much the other people think, you see what I'm saying?
It don't matter, right?
It don't matter. We are the ones that's the spearhead. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have people in the Caribbean that's conscious, people that's African in the conscious, but there's one thing about it. If it was based on the Africans having more melanin than us, why are we the spearheads of the conscious movement?
That's right.
Because it's not talking about the melanin from the melanocytes. That's just to protect them from the rays of the sun.
Right.
But the melanin that we're talking about is the inner melanin, and you can damn near look white and have more melanin than the goddamn African that has a dark melanocytes. You see what I'm saying?
So at this time, that skin color, blue, black, and green hue,
that's just to represent. That just represented the original origin of the melanin producers.
Right.
But we're talking about here in an alchemical
process
change. The process is that the ones in the West is called the Great Mixing Bowl, and we're the ones that have all the different types of African strains in us based on slavery came and mixed all these different nations up in one person. So we are the finished product. You see what I'm saying? Because we have all of the African nations in our bloodlines, especially the African Americans.
Right, that's right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the Great Mixing Bowl is supposed to be in the West, the mixture, the body of Osiris. Do you know the word Osiris means the West?
Right. I see that.
The Westerner, the Great Westerner.
The Great Westerner.
It's in the Big Brown Faulkner Book of the Dead, the Great Westerner. And they say a mentor will be in the West. Right. Everything will be in the West. The Son of Man will be in the West. And different aspect of that. Ra, on the other hand, is demiurge in a particular aspect, even so much so is why is it if Ra is not demiurge, why is it one of the tails of Aset Isis? She ultimately, one of her last great tasks is she poisons Ra. Ra gets old and she poisons his ass and kills him, which represents she's getting rid of the enemy, the demiurge. Now in the coffin text, because we got it from the Gnostic, which is translated into the Coptic, and they talk about this demiurge, this subordinate deity that created this creation. But I wanted to find it in the hieroglyphics, which I was able to do by the help of a brother named a brother in Buffalo, New York. Can't think of his name right now. He was studying alchemy also, that found it in a book that I already had, a book called The Daily Life of Egyptian Gods. Right. By Meeks, I can't think of the people's name, in there and all, and there was a passage in there coming from the coffin text, so we know it's in the coffin text, which was the key that I needed. And stuff. In that particular part, the key that I needed was Ra demiurge. In this particular case, in that particular text, the coffin text that is captured in this book, Daily Life of Egyptian Gods, Ra is getting old. You see what I'm saying? And he invites a bunch of gods, Horus, the pantheon of Egyptian pantheon, Isis and all of them, to his house for dinner. Metaphysical now. And then when he's in dinner, he eats all the gods and swallows them up. You see. The swallowing up is the same as the Jonah story. The gods, which used to be spiritual forces, were swallowed up and made into humans because he swallowed them up in his physical forces of vibration of the physical world and made them into human beings. So that's Zeus.
Right. That womb.
In the womb, he swallowed them up into the physical laws of the matrix.
Okay.
Which makes him demiurge, just like Zeus burn up the Titans and made them into humans made them dependent on a human body, which used to be gods. So when Isis comes and poisons him, she represents a form of the alchemical process. The white Isis, black Isis, which is a dormant state, has to be changed into the white Isis. The light, she poisons him and he dies, and that's the metaphysical aspect of throwing off the physical body. And the physical body is nothing but an Amun Ra. And the sun out there is only a prism or an illusion.